Welcome to Health, Wellbeing and Lifestyle, where experts in the field inform, educate and inspire the community to be healthier, more balanced and live the lifestyle they love. Our first guest today, Michèle Wolff, is a naturopath, author and lecturer, and the topic we'll be discussing is how toxins in our environment can affect our digestive health. Welcome, Michèle.
Hi, Megan.
How do toxins in our environment affect our digestive health?
Yeah, good question. Well, nowadays we've got over 84,000 registered chemicals that weren't there over 100 years ago. So we're having to deal and adapt to that as human beings. And in particular, it puts a big strain on the liver because the liver is constantly detoxing what we put on our skin, what we breathe in, toxins that we produce in our body from our own digestion or from stress. So you've got all sorts of environmental toxins. You've got toxins that are in food, toxins that are in the home that are off-gassing from paints, from furniture, toxins in clothes unless they're organic cotton, and toxins that are on foods, particularly if they're wrapped in plastics. Also, there's toxins in different sprays that we use, like cockroach sprays and fly sprays. And we have to deal with all of that. So with food wrapped in plastic, the softer the plastic, the more toxic it is. So something like Glad wrap would be more toxic than a hard plastic. And when it's warm or heated, then that becomes more toxic. So if you've got a water bottle in a plastic container on your front seat and it's a 35-degree day, then the phthalates from that plastic will go into the water and that disrupts the hormonal system. The liver has to try and detox that, and that puts pressure on the digestion. In food, we used to have a whole food diet without food additives and preservatives and so on, and now the food industry has developed food that lasts a long time, that never goes off on the food shelves. Well, that has an impact on the system as well, because it's foreign to the body and the liver has to detox that. And then the everyday things we do in our lifestyle, from getting up in the morning to going to bed, we can use a whole range of toxic products in the home. So makeup, deodorant, toothpaste, hairsprays, and cleaning products. So what you've got under your kitchen sink or in your bathroom cabinet is not necessarily healthy. When you buy new furniture or you use commercial paint, that's often off-gassing for a period of time and we're breathing that in. When you get a new car, I've recently got a new car, and in order to help get rid of the toxins, had to heat the car up and use carbon filters in the car. So, you know, unfortunately, a lot of things are not made with natural fibres. We don't have a lot of natural wood products now for furniture, and clothing isn't natural, and where we live we're breathing it in. In the home there can sometimes be things like mould that can really affect people. So once you've got mould in the home and it's visible, there are a whole lot of spores in the air that you're actually breathing in that's very harmful to the health. So that can be harmful to the digestive health, but also overall health and for the brain, and you can get symptoms of chronic fatigue and so on. And sometimes people get repeated chest infections or asthma from mould. So those are a few examples of toxins that just are an added burden, in particular to the liver. The kidneys and the skin and the lungs are all, and your bowel are all organs that eliminate toxins, so you want to be able to free them up as much as possible.
That's really good information, Michèle. How can we avoid toxic products in our home?
I think having more awareness and starting somewhere. So if you have food and you can't go straight away to all organic food, you could start with the Dirty Dozen. So you can look that up on the internet. So it's the 12 most highly sprayed fruits and vegetables, because pesticides can have a big effect on our digestive system and overall system. And start to look at more natural deodorants, toothpaste, products that you put on your skin, products that you eliminate insects with. There are totally natural ones. Cleaning products, you can start with more economical products like bicarb of soda and microfiber cloths. Many shops sell cleaning white vinegar, and they are very effective for cleaning. You can also use essential oils for nice smells instead of false perfumes, both if you're perfuming a room or if you're putting that on your body. So for example, rose essential oil is the essential oil that we would use as the most potent antidepressant, but it also is a really beautiful smell. So it's therapeutic as well. And avoiding as much as you can foods that are wrapped in plastic and drinks that are in plastic. You know, if you're lowering your load, you're lowering the impact that you're having on your liver and your overall digestion.
Do you have any extra advice for our viewers?
Yes. So those things that I mentioned, also if you want to look into it more deeply, there are various air filters available so that you can keep the air quality in your house really good. In particular, if you're living near a busy road, or if you've got furniture that's off-gassing, or you've recently painted your house, to be extra careful if you're planning to get pregnant, because it's been diagnosed in the cord blood of newborn babies, a huge amount of toxins that they've got when life has only just started. And to consult someone like myself or another naturopath to build that awareness so that you can keep taking steps to avoid those chemicals.
Thanks, Michèle. If you'd like to know more about how toxins in our environment affect our digestive system and Michèle Wolff, please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we have another interesting guest with another interesting topic. Stay tuned. After the break, psychic medium and author Anthony Kilner will be talking about what do people mean when they say astral. Welcome back. Our next guest, Anthony Kilner, is a psychic medium and author, and the topic we'll be discussing is when people talk about the astral, what do they mean? Welcome, Anthony.
Thanks, Megan.
What is the astral, and what does astral travel mean?
The astral is a really interesting space. In general terms, and not making it too complicated, me personally, I see the astral as a realm that surrounds the earth. And within the realms of the astral, there are 10 by 10 by 10 by 10, and it's basically levels that you go up. Now, the thing about that is everyone will have a slightly different interpretation on it. However, our spirit body goes out into the astral and is experiencing all sorts of different bits and pieces. I'll get to that in a sec. The main thing is understanding that unlike dreams, which are a soul message that require interpretation, they're muted in colour, the astral is vibrant. It's vibrant in its colour. What you do, what your spirit body does out in the astral really impacts what you feel on your physical body. And that's really interesting. So you go into the astral to meet your loved ones, you go into the astral to meet and have experiences with teachers, learning, that sort of thing. You can go into the astral realm if you're in one way to remote view into the future. So if you're looking to get a job, you might put yourself out there and experience that in sort of between the astral realm and your physical realm. So it's really quite an interesting topic in general. More specifically, our spirit body is going out there to experience everything that is in the astral realm. We meet our loved ones, and so any of our departed relatives. We can meet our friends. so we can all go to an astral point together. And how many times have you talked to people and they said, they get up in the morning, they just think, oh, I feel like I've just run a marathon, I can't get my body right. And you talk to them and they've been out partying in the astral, because that's the big party place, that very first layer of the astral, closest to the earth as it moves around, sort of semi-elliptically, around sort of 1 till sort of 3, 4 in the morning. And that's when most people, they'll have an experience, they'll wake up and it might be 1:11 or 3:33 or something like that, or 2:22. It seems to be a lot of universal timing in how all that works. And once your body's out there, like I said, we can interact with people. We learn from the astral realms as well. So they're actually people, spirit people that live there, that don't just visit, and we learn from them. So there's a whole lot of stuff that happens in that space. People going into the astral and helping and doing what they need to do, and they quite often they go there and they help people as a spirit being. So if somebody has passed away and they need help to move into that realm properly, we quite often will go there in our sleep, not even knowing what we're doing, and we might be a police officer, a nurse, a doctor or something like that, that then helps guide them to where they need to be and gives them that opportunity. So the astral realm has got so many possibilities, such a huge topic, and yet we do it subconsciously in our sleep. We don't even think about it half the time, and that's the beauty of it. So when we are growing up from young children and our energies developing and our spirit bodies developing, it goes off and it experiences all facets of life, from intimate relations right through to having fun and learning about things, and it impacts us on a physical level. So all that is really amazing, that our spirit body can do that all in the astral.
What sort of training is involved to experience astral travel?
Okay, so there's a lot that can be done. We do it subconsciously, like I've mentioned, automatically from when we're a child right through to when we're an adult. And the training that can be done is learn to meditate. The deeper you meditate, the more chance you've got of your spirit body coming out of your body and going off on that journey. So a good teacher, a good practitioner, there are lots of different things you can do to learn how to enjoy an astral experience. And mostly though, to really get a hang of it, you would join a meditation group or a spiritual group, and they would do that as part of what they do. And then you can do things like go on group astrals, where you will actually meet the other members of a group and you will go somewhere specifically. Generally it's to do healing work on the planet or to help in situations that are cropped up from war or natural disasters, that sort of thing. So lots you can do in that space. They're the main things. Find somebody that knows what they're doing with it and then learn from them. We talk about the ascended masters, people like Sai Baba and Jesus and all these other people, and they could actually leave their body in one space, their physical body as we would know it, and appear halfway around the world and look just as physical and real. And Sai Baba did this quite a few years back, where he appeared on like 3 or 4 different continents all at the same time, and people were ringing up to talk to other people to say, oh no, Sai's here with me and blah blah blah. So many cultures, especially many indigenous cultures, do medicine journeys, that sort of thing, where it helps to release the spirit body out of the physical body to go on a journey to understand themselves. And that's quite technical, and again, it comes from a deep cultural belief of what they're doing, so they know what they're doing, they do it safely. And guided meditations, having the right teacher, having, to get them to go out to do that is really important in that space.
What suggestions do you have for our viewers in terms of their own astral travel?
Right, so good suggestions would be, there are lots of great books out there on an astral travel and how to do it. If you don't get the right information out of the book, then going to a good practitioner, somebody that knows what they're doing, someone that knows how to guide you there and bring you back safely. A good meditation teacher will be able to do it, a good spiritual teacher will be able to do it, and then, there are the other ways, like I mentioned before, of doing it. However, I believe that we can learn this just through practice. And the other really important suggestion is if you're doing this at home and you're by yourself, don't have the pets in the room. Because if your spirit body's flying off somewhere and your physical body's here, right, if a dog or a cat or something jumps on you, it scares you and you jump back into your body really quickly. And you'll know, and most of the viewers will probably pick up on this, at one point, you would have been travelling in the car, head on the side, a little bit of dribble coming out, and you jump back into your body like that. That's your spirit body's been out doing something because you're so bored with what's happening. It's off doing what it wants to do, and it comes back in a hurry, and so that's what happens. And most people wake up in the morning, they wake up with a jolt, and that's because their spirit body's come back into their physical body. And where most people say, I feel like I got out of bed on the wrong side, that's because they're not lying back up. So probably the suggestion is go back to bed or lie down, visualise your spirit body and your physical body coming into perfect alignment, and then getting up again and moving forward for the rest of the day. So that would be my top suggestions.
Thanks, Anthony. That's such good information to consider. If you'd like to know more about Anthony Kilner and what people are talking about when they mention the astral, please go to his webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And after the break, we have another interesting guest with another interesting topic. Stay tuned, and after the break we have international meditation teacher and coach Daniella talking about a balanced life through spiritual growth. Welcome back. We have international meditation teacher and coach Daniella, and the topic we'll be discussing is the importance of a balanced lifestyle through spiritual growth. Welcome, Daniella.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Why is spirituality important for a balanced life?
Spirituality is just as vital in our life as it is to understand our physical body. Right? So if we focus on our physical body and don't focus on our spiritual life, then we don't have a greater sense of purpose in our life. Right? I feel that it's important to balance the physical, the emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies in order to align ourselves to perfect health and well-being, and therefore create a much more healthier and happier lifestyle. It's important to balance all four bodies.
Daniella, what's your personal journey in discovering spirituality for a balanced life?
Well, can I say I've had many journeys that really emphasize the importance of spirituality. But as a young girl, starting out in life, and when I became a woman, I had a lot of issues, health issues with my monthly cycle. And we know today it's called endometriosis, but back then it wasn't diagnosed like that. And it was, very uncomfortable, and I was just given medicine to take. Well, in my feeling, my sense was, no, this is not right. This is supposed to be natural. So why am I taking medicine? No. So I seeked out alternative ways to heal myself through this. And so I did go to a naturopath, I went to acupuncturist, and I started meditation. And over the next few years, I just found that it's, I had good months and I had bad months, but there wasn't that consistency anymore of the uncomfortable feeling. And about 7 years later, I was able to have cycles with no pain because I chose a more spiritual way of dealing with it. But at the same time, I was healing my physical body, sure, but there was a lot of emotional stuff connected to that as well. So in the process of getting that healing through various channels, my emotional body and mental body also started to change. And I became a big advocate for meditation. Meditation became part of my everyday life, and just healthier choices, health and various things that accompany that. The good thing about that is when I went through menopause as well, it just happened. Like there was no side effects or anything. And I know that that was based on the fact that I took care of myself on a physical, emotional, mental and spiritual level, right? I lived in the United States for a number of years, and during that time I was very honoured to be able to spend time with Native people there in mostly Arizona, New Mexico and South Dakota. And having spent time with the native women there, I realised that a lot of them did not have the same issues around, cycles, monthly cycles, as Western women do. So I explored that a little bit and asked them, various questions. And what I realised was it's something that's actually celebrated. When a young girl becomes a woman, there's a whole ceremony and it's celebrated, and the whole tribe celebrates. Everybody comes out and celebrates it. So it's something that's really embraced, because now she can create life, right? So these native women already start their cycle in a celebratory type way. It's not a stressful thing. And then they maintain spirituality throughout their whole life. They do women's circles and various things, women's gathering, but spirituality is very much a part of their culture, all of the tribes. So it's something that is part of their upbringing. What I found was that they just didn't stress about things the way we did, and there was no expectation, if you will, for them to be anything other than the beautiful women that they are. Whereas I feel in our society, women feel they have to step into a different role, to compete with men sometimes. So we neglect our femininity, whereas they embrace their femininity and their feminine power. And it's a beautiful thing. And they all supported each other through that. So what that helped me realise was that what I was feeling as a young girl really had some substance. Why was I thinking that? I don't know where that came from. I just knew that it was natural for women to be like this and to find the supportive system. So that was really confirming and very affirming as well, because it affirmed how powerful it is for us to embrace who we are. We as women in the Western world, our own power, our own femininity. And of course for men to embrace their own masculinity, who they are. And we play specific roles in that power. So when we can embrace that, we're much more powerful. And our bodies will reflect that, right? But in order to embrace that, there has to be that spiritual side, that meaningful, purposeful, that part of ourselves that we feel is missing. No, it's right here. We've just got to embrace it.
Daniella, that was a great story.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
Do you have any advice for our viewers to have a balanced life spiritually?
Well, my advice would be to just listen to their inner self, because that's where our spiritual body resides, somewhere inside of us. Most people will say it's in your heart, but it can be anywhere. It can be in your toe. I don't know where you feel, whatever you feel. But think about how you feel when you see a sunrise or a sunset. There's something magical about that, and we can feel that magic within us. It makes us stop and look at it and go, wow. Or when a rainbow appears, and we all want the rainbow to be magic, magical, and we have a sense of that. Well, that's our spiritual body responding to that. So it's already happening. It's just a matter of making yourself more conscious of how you feel in that moment, and knowing that you have those feelings throughout the day, and they're important. They're an important element to who you are. And then to seek it out more. So how can you get that feeling more and more? Through what? Through whatever makes you happy, really. Whatever you do that makes you happy, whatever hobby, or maybe there's people, maybe there's places, things that you like to do that makes you feel happy inside, do more of that. That's all. Because that's called loving yourself. And the more and more you love yourself, the more and more spirituality you're living in your life.
Thank you, Daniella. That was such valuable information. If you'd like to know more about Daniella and how to have a more balanced lifestyle through spiritual growth, please go to her webpage on our website, healthwellbeingandlifestyle.com.au. And we're going to say bye-bye for now, and we'll see you next week. Stay tuned.
If you'd like to know more about our show, please like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.